Everybody, today is Monday, January 29th, and you are watching this video because you have finished your comic and you're ready to move on to the next step. Let me take you here. I want you guys to go, you should have this Element Superhero comic grade sheet in GoodNotes. And so I'd like you guys to go ahead and go to GoodNotes and pull that up. Now, if you don't remember this at all, let me take you back to Tuesday, January 23rd. It's in this part 2 of the comic strip and mask instructions, and it was the very last page. Okay, so go ahead and go there. And I want to go over just some things that I need you to do in preparation for me to grade. First of all, I need to make sure that you have your Element Research data sheet, this thing right here. It's only 15 points. However, if you don't have it and it's not filled out, I cannot grade your comic. So you'll get a 0 until you get this taken care of for me. Let me tell you what I need you to do, okay? Some of you guys have done this already, but just double check for me if you would, please. So on the front page, these two boxes should be filled out. And then throughout the rest of the worksheet, you should have all of the white filled out. And then as far as the gray, for the physical properties, you need to be able to link 5 physical properties to your comic book character. What I'd like you to do right now, if you haven't already, you have those written out, okay? Will you please go through your comic and make sure what you have written in the gray actually shows up in your comic strip? So, for example, if you said for color, let's say the color is yellow, right? And you said that you were going to make the uniform yellow. If you did not make the uniform yellow, but you made the hair color yellow, you need to change that on this worksheet so that when I get it, I'm not looking for a yellow uniform when I should be looking for yellow color. Unfortunately, if you don't make those changes, if you don't double check and make sure that what you told me you were going to do on this worksheet is what you actually did, I will not give you credit for what you have in your comic strip because I don't know what you're doing. So make sure that you have this correct, okay? Pause the video if you need to go through that and make sure that you have 5 physical properties filled out. If you want to highlight those, that would be amazing because then I know exactly what I'm looking for. You'll need 2 chemical properties. And again, make sure that what you have on this worksheet matches what I'm going to see in your comic. And then the fun facts, you need 3 of them. Not that you need one from each one of these rows, you just need 3 of them. So if you have more than 3, highlight all of them to make sure that I see them, okay? Okay, so now once that's finished, and if you need to go back and do that, just stop this video and go do that. Come on back later on. Once your Element Research data sheet is ready for me to take and use to grade your comic, then I want you to come back to this grade sheet and go through every single bullet point to make sure that you have everything required. Okay. So, making sure that you did your personification of the character. That's basically what you're doing up here in the Element worksheet to make sure, just to double check that. You will have a mask by the end of this week, so don't worry about that right now. The character origin story, make sure that I am not left trying to infer meaning from your pictures. Make sure that you are using dialogue, both narrative and if it's appropriate, dialogue amongst your characters. I need to know who, what, where, why, when, how, for every slide. The one exception would be is if your character is walking from point A to point B, or something is happening, and or it's like a transition. Nothing important is happening. You're just showing a passage of time. That's the only time I don't need narration. But everything else you should have, especially when you're trying to explain, part of your element's superpowers and how they relate to the actual element. Please make sure that you're writing that down. In your comic, double check that you have those 5 physical properties. Make sure that you have those 2 chemical properties. Make sure, please, that you have the periodic table of elements square. I totally spelled that wrong. I just noticed that. That you have the table of elements square. Make sure that in that square, I can see. So if you've got something covering it up, I need you to have it show up in your comic some other time when nothing covers it up. I need to see the atomic number, the symbol, and the name of your element. And then make sure that you have Bohr's atomic model. And that should just be model. So I'm going to change that now. Bohr's atomic model of the element. That needs to be there somewhere. Okay? Lastly, make sure that you have at least 3 additional facts from the data sheet, that you've incorporated them where it was discovered. Maybe your setting is where it was discovered, or maybe one of the scientists that discovered it shows up somehow. Don't just have the characters there. Make sure that you're using their names so that I know that's who they are. You can't just assume that I know that men dressed up or women dressed up in old-fashioned clothing, that's who they are. I don't know. So make sure that you've got that. Okay, lastly, please make sure that you go through and check your mechanics. Okay, check your spelling, check your capitalization, especially proper nouns. And if you're using the first person and you have a lowercase I, you're going to get points taken off. So please check that. Punctuation. Don't have any run-on sentences. Put a period, use commas, exclamation points. I know what you guys are learning in language arts. I know you know the different types of sentences. I know you know declarative, exclamatory, and I can't remember the one for a question, but anyway, the question. So use those question marks. Use those the proper punctuation that goes with that, please. Okay. All right. So then that's it for checking on this. If you have that done, hopefully I will have in today's folder, I will have some kind of a PDF that shows you the different masks templates. I have them. I sent them from the printer upstairs to my computer. They did not go through. So I'm going to go to school early tomorrow. I'm recording this on Sunday night. I'm going to go to school early tomorrow morning and try and get those to go through. If they don't go through, that's all you can do for today. If they do go through, then you can go ahead and take a look through those templates for the different mask so you know which one you want, and go ahead and start designing your mask. I'd like you to do it digitally before I actually give you the card stock. I don't have a whole lot of masks to spare, so if you would start to do a design and then say, oh, I don't really like that, can I get a new mask? I don't really have a whole lot of new ones. So pick what you want. You know the markers I have. I do have aluminum foil you can use. I have tape you can use. I have glue. If you want any other embellishments, if you want beads, if you want, what's that shiny stuff called? Glitter. If you want, any kind of, like, I have pipe cleaners. I don't know if you want to do like an outline on your mask. Make it decorative, but it has to tie in with your element somehow. Okay, so be thinking about that. All right, hopefully I get those in there and you'll see them. And if not, then we'll pick it up on Tuesday And you can just go ahead and read your AR book when you get finished. Okay. See you tomorrow.